How's it going, guys? This is Avollon, and welcome back to Avollon's World. Last episode, we built the monstrous shulker farm that isn't even the most complicated and efficient version that it can be, but we have 6 whole shulker boxes full of shulker shells, which is more than enough, I think, for what we need to do in the next 2 episodes here. Today's episode is going to be about fixing this bulk storage problem. See, I put these chests up probably, I want to say 1.12, whatever version before that you could place chests next to each other, because some of these are trap chests, some of them are regular chests. So, this is also a massive amount of entities, which causes a significant amount of lag, especially with all the hoppers back there too. So, yeah, what I want to do is use the shulker shells they could use and put them in shulker boxes, bulk storage. I said it in the beginning of this series that I was like, yeah, we're going to use shulker box loaders, try to use those as much as we can, and it's now episode 74, and I've not built a single one in this series yet. So we're going to get on that today because it'll make my life easier by having a whole bunch of shulker boxes that I can then put in the bulk storage system here, which has only gotten to this chest. So, I mean, we have a good enough space. So well as that, we're going to rip out this old AFK fish farm because they got rid of the treasure, so there's not really a point to AFK fish because I have hundreds of fish already. So we're going to be putting something else there to control the farms that go into the bulk storage system, mainly the carrots, potatoes, wheat, I think sugarcane, pumpkins, and melons. Stuff to turn the farms on and off, but with a twist. You'll see that later. As well as taking out this little thing over here. However, there isn't exactly much room, as you can see. It leads right into here, which our farms that we built not too long ago are doing pretty good. But yeah, there isn't exactly a lot of space here to do what I want to do, but we're going to try to do it. And then over here, I've already gone ahead and revamped the entrance to the underneath via our base because I got tired of going through pistons and whatnot, and I also updated this, which I now hit my head on, and I need to adjust that a little bit, and put some powdered snow here so I don't break my legs when falling, as well as I put some powdered snow here. You can see if I break this carpet, there's powdered snow there, and that's only because this branch is actually open to the world, so say by chance a mob does make its way down here, which I can't imagine it would, I believe their pathfinding abilities for every mob prevents them from going over powdered snow like that, so they would not, theoretically speaking, be able to enter this part of my base if I'm just, crafting and doing some random stuff. This will be staying because it actually does work. I fixed it. There's arrows up there that break the things, and then, it gets auto-equipped. So, yeah, we got some projects to do, so let's get on top of them. So, changes have been made regarding, some flower farms behind me. I had to slightly rework the design to them. I came up with it myself. Someone might have already come up with this design, but all it does is, do that, and you can just flick it, and it'll just bone wheel them. Very simple process, nothing fancy. And because I've already done this, we are just going to don't look at those, don't look at the flowers. Problem I have, or had, like that, I solved it, because I'm smart, big brain. The 2 tall flowers take up the entire block, while pretty much every other flower only takes up its actual hitbox. So I had to place these cobblestone walls here, not for decoration, but to allow me to ever so slightly access the dispensers back here, because behind the dispensers are the redstone to power them. So getting, hoppers to actually feed in bone meal would be not aesthetically pleasing and a pain to do. But they work and they will serve their purpose. I always hate that the sunflowers face one certain direction. I get it, because it faces that's peony. It faces the sun, but yeah, I wish they could just, you could rotate them. It would be better, because you're limited on how you can place those pretty much in your world, because they always are facing east, apparently. Anyways, I've also reworked the cave entrance here because as much as I like the glass panes, I'll admit, it looked pretty clean, it looked pretty good. Hitting my head every time going up is going to get old real quick. So by doing this, we solve that problem in and amongst itself. Powdered snow is still there. It doesn't look the best, but it doesn't look the worst. If I come up with a better idea, maybe I'll change it. But it's kind of like one of those pillars, and it still works for the cave feel. And it solves the problem of me hitting my head, because I can't keep hitting my head on the floor up there. You know, it's not good for the noggin. Anyways, besides that, I've also dug out the tunnels that will be leading to the carrot, potato, pumpkin, and melon farms. Those are going to be where we're putting our master switch, so they, can be transformed into bone meal, because I've went ahead and completely taken out all the chests down here, found a tileable shulker box loader that's pretty simple to build, and yeah, I had a lot. I filled up the second chest here with stuff. I mean, look, you got carved pumpkins, because I had a pumpkin farm running before they turned into pumpkins, so I have a whole shulker box of carved pumpkins. Potatoes, carrots, some wheeler roses, lava buckets, hay bale, sugar cane, pumpkins, melon blocks, glass bottles, spider eyes, feathers, sticks, glowstone dust, slime blocks, and cactus. As well as I think bone meal is back here because I put like 3/4 of the stuff I had into composters. Because I'm mainly doing this master switch because I need bone meal. I always need bone meal. You always need it. So that's kind of why I want to make a master switch to switch the farms between actually giving me the stuff or just auto composting them and giving me bone meal instead. So yeah, why don't we hook up those lines next and see if the design actually works, because I have a design. Don't know if it'll actually work long distance though. So we got 4 switches. Obviously, I said for the carrots, potatoes, pumpkins, and melons. However, we could also do sugarcane, wheat, cactus, but I don't have that many cactus. I never filled up the amount of chests I had, and I always use green dyes, so, I don't really care for that one. Wheat, it can be used for hay bales, and now it can also be used to making packed mud, so I will be using that a lot more frequently, and I don't get that too frequently either. And sugarcane I use for paper to make rockets, so we're not going to really focus on turning those all into bone meal variants. I don't even know if you can put sugarcane in a composter, but anyways, this is not the final design. I just kind of laid some stuff out so I can get the wires in place, and it is literally just a long stretch of redstone wiring. Okay, there's water right here too, which is very sketchy, but water and redstone, they work together pretty well. So this branch up here will lead us to the carrot and potato farms. This is actually the water chutes. I believe this one's the sugarcane, and the carrots and potatoes come from this direction. This is the potato one, so essentially, if I can explain my actions here, this is the actual input, and currently we have it on, we want the items, because it's actually locking this hopper. So this redstone block here is locking this hopper, which is right above the composter. So instead, it'll take this other hopper line, which will lead it right into the dropper, meaning we'll get the actual items, the carrots and potatoes, instead of it going straight through the composter and giving us bone meal. And it is the exact same thing over here, just kind of laid out differently. This is redstone survival. I really could honestly care how it looks, just as long as it works. So the fun part is going to be the melon and pumpkin towers. They don't actually go into a dropper. They just go right into the water stream, because that's honestly how they were designed. These farms were designed prior to hoppers, and they've been working ever since. I mean, obviously, this world's had hoppers since I built these farms, but the farms themselves were designed way before hoppers even existed, so they were designed to just kind of funnel into a water stream. So I gotta actually create a dropper system similar to the carrots and potatoes, which could technically slow down the rate at which they come in at, which might fix the problem of the storage not working 100%. And this tunnel leads right back to here. So I gotta install some more dropper things just to get it so I can actually compost them, because I have so many melons and I have so many pumpkins. I need bone meal. I don't need melons. I don't need pumpkins. Want to see a secret? Do you? Do you? Secret door. Yeah, I know. It's so fancy. It's the best piston door you've probably ever seen. I've been adding a couple maintenance hatches, is what you could technically classify these as. Right now it leads to nothing, but the bulk storage shulker loader things that I'm going to be using, the chest or the barrel, whichever one I decide to use to store the shulker boxes, the empty ones, to get loaded, is in the back of the thing. So we need a way to get to the back of the thing while the front is nice and fully decorated. So that's what this little button here will do. It's pretty not noticeable. I mean, obviously you can see it when you see it, but it doesn't take away from the room at all. Went ahead and hooked up the remaining line and made another maintenance hatch here, as you can see. So the lines are hooked up. I used some polished diorite because I don't use it at all. I think I used it in White Ridge, and that was like pretty much it in this world. But yeah, we just got a T flip-flop, I think that's what these are called, hooked up to some pistons. We also have access to the dropper from the bulk storage, so anything that doesn't get, say, stone or something falls in it, or one of these things is completely full, everything will just be dropped to, I believe, a cactus, which I could probably change that to lava. Might be a little bit better and faster. But yeah, nice and hidden button up here, and we've got ourselves 4 levers, 4 master switches for the carrots, potatoes, melons, and pumpkins. Simply all you do is you activate it by, or unactivate it, however you want to really classify it as. I guess activate it because you're removing the piston, which removes the redstone block. So now the potatoes will come through the system, versus if we have the lamp off, they will go into a composter and get bone mealed, which we can actually go see. There's a jumbled mess back here, but it is a giant redstone line, and that is literally it. It's tight, and I purposely left some space here just in case I need more room for the redstone for the auto sorter that runs up to the carrots and potatoes and down this way, spending a good couple of blocks again. It's a long redstone line, alright, I'm not gonna lie. Leads to the carrot. Yeah, these are carrots. Yep, they're orange. One of them is, at least. The melon and pumpkins. It's the same system, but I simplified it. This pushes, locks this hopper, and then they go around. It's quite simple. So if you ever want to, replicate that, there you go. If you have crop farms and you don't know what to do with your excess crops, make them into bone meal, because you can always use bone meal. I have so many things that require bone meal, and I do not want AFK at a skeleton farm anymore. Okay, so this is essentially it. This is the Shulker Box Loader. I have 2 Shulker Boxes here. This is the output chest over here where the, oh, that's where that iron block went, where the full Shulker Boxes will go. The empty ones will feed in through this hopper line here into this dropper, which will then get dispensed via this dispenser, and we can simulate that by throwing them in there. They'll stay stashed in the dropper, and I think there will only ever be one in the dispenser at a time. This is the input line, so where all the items are that you want to feed into the shulker loader. That's the line that you gotta hook up. So in this, hang on, in this case it would be cactus. And yeah, all we gotta do now is, I think this should work. Yep, and that's all we gotta do, and then we want that button back. So now there's a shulker box in there, and we can place a chest down there. And then the only other thing we have to do is connect it up to there, and the shulker boxes should start getting loaded automatically. And then this comparator here reads when it's full, which then activates this or something. I'm not entirely sure what goes on here. I think this detects the redstone changing, which then powers the hopper, which then this observer sees, which then powers the piston, which pushes the shulker box into the chest, into the comparator, which breaks it. Yeah, that's a chest. Which then breaks it, gets sucked up by the hopper, goes into there, and it repeats the system because it also activates the dispenser and dropper at the same time, I think. I don't know, I'm not the greatest at redstone, but I've already done this side. I just wanted to show you what it actually looked like because I fully decorated this side, and I gotta say, looks pretty good. Using more glazed terracotta, and you see a carrot on a stick. This comes in handy. I got a data pack. It is the terracotta wrench from Vanilla Tweaks. Allows you to just, turn the glazed terracotta however you need it instead of having to place it. It is so handy and allows you to actually use this stuff and not get like severely frustrated trying to get it in the orientation you want it to. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Add some different colors into the area. I mean, we got some of like the, I don't know if I call that reddish, but it's more orangish. But I have it up there, and my flag there is also red, so it fits the theme, to be honest. And I really like how it turned out. I'm using the invisible item frames again to say what's in each one. And these have only been hooked up for a while, so I don't expect this. Obviously, the witch farm's not even running. Really, the only thing over here that would fill up fast is probably the slime balls. And then we have one empty slot. One, so we can put something there, because I already swapped out the bone meal for the ink sacs. So let's build this other side, shall we? So I should also point out that these redstone lamps are not necessary. This is just a visual thing that also provides some lighting. You only really need the redstone block here, but because there's redstone block, I took the opportunity to add the redstone lamp, so it just looks better, Gotta look good in the base. So you gotta activate these as well. That's, I don't know if you want to classify it as a downside, but obviously you need the shulker box. Okay, I could just start, that was the inside of my head. I can just start flying, that works. But obviously you need the shulker box, there, and you just load them in. They need to be activated first. So in the original design, and the link to the video is in the description, it goes over I think 2 loaders and 2 unloaders. I forget who it's by. I don't even know if he exactly made it or was just showcasing them. I'm not entirely positive, but he was using barrels, which you can open without a block above it, which kind of works, but because I have the space and the room, I can use chest. But he put a button on the back side here of the barrel, not the actual piston. You should hear the piston extend, and then the dispenser click. And each one should dispense an empty shulker box. Just waiting to be loaded with goods. Now I just need to come down here and take my stone buttons back. Thank you very much. So another thing. With the invisible item frames, I don't actually, it's obviously still an item frame, the item is still there, but if I do F3 and B, it doesn't have a hitbox, like every other item frame does. So, is it technically like an entity in the world then? So all I do is this, and it, does that, and it's super simple and looks super clean, and if it's not an entity, it's better for lag then. Right? Like, I that's what I think. It's not an entity. If it doesn't have a hitbox, I can't destroy it, so who knows, maybe the invisible ones you just can't destroy. I really don't know. So, it's all decorated. And how many times can I start a clip saying so? But anyways, going through everything we did today, we renovated the entire basement pretty much, all except the actual main storage room. Got our nice little cave. It's growing on me, alright? I've had to go up and down a couple times, and it's smooth just like the last one I'm not hitting my head on the ceiling anymore. So, nice and simple, and now it kind of expands into the underneath and makes the basement kind of feel bigger in a way. Still got the armor stands, we got the, whatchamacallit, 2 tall flower thingies that can grow with bone meal. Yep, that's what they're called. Also got a whole shulker box of sweet berries already. Might have to trim down some of those bushes, because what am I supposed to do with the shulker box of sweet berries? Anyways, we got our master switch, which is currently producing bone meal as we speak, as well as a nice hidden secret door that we can close, as well as 2 more down here, which actually now we can access to access the chest back here, which I still need the label assigned so I know what I'm putting where. So if I know one specific shulker loader needs one, I know which one it is, and I'm not guessing. But yeah, looking pretty good. The glazed terracotta is up there. It's looking pretty snazzy, if I say so myself. Now we just got to do the storage room, but that's next episode. And I also debated adding this crafting table switcher everywhere, but I have redstone lamps and torches, and it would impact that. There's probably also more compact ways to do that now. But yeah, now I just gotta, craft a bunch of shulker boxes to load these things with, because I haven't heard anything break yet, and I don't expect it to, but yeah, it's gonna happen, and 2 shulker boxes will not cut it, so I gotta load those up. I'll do that in between episodes, because I gotta go chop down some trees out of wood again. But anyways, guys, that'll do it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. It was more of a technical, just progress updates. Here's some redstone, type of bits, but it's gotta be done, and it looks and works a lot better than the old system did. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to go check out the video link for the shulker loader as well. There's 4 of them there, two loaders and 2 unloaders. 2 of them are tileable, 1 wides, and the others aren't. So one of them actually uses honey blocks too, which is interesting. I haven't used honey blocks in redstone yet, I don't believe. But yeah, that'll do it for today's episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. And I will catch you guys in the next one, where we'll tackle our storage room for the 3rd time. It's probably like the 5th or 6th time on this world now, but 3rd time in the series, probably 4th, because if you count the original one, who knows? I lost count. All right, I'll see you next episode.